Don't freak out if you don't get it. Okay, I'm going to walk you through each step. One of our longest classes. Okay? Alright, so we'll go through the other things we need to learn when I get done. Okay, so normally when we have a whole chicken, right, we have a little bag of goodies on the cavity somewhere, right? What are those bags? What does that bag contain?
The giblets.
Yeah, which contain what? What's your what?
The liver,
the heart,
I'm not sure what else.
the gizzard.
Look in here, okay? Most oftentimes we forget about these. You see this inside of here? Look. Isn't that gross? Kidneys. Most people
The facial
faint.
reaction was amazing.
Yeah, I know. Look at his face, like, yeah. Okay? We normally think that we take out all of the insides, right? Okay? If we were going to roast this bad boy whole, this is an organ meat. Okay? A cleaner for the blood, for the chicken. Everything the chicken has eaten all his life. Okay? I would want to take that out so that it doesn't disflavor my roasted bird. Okay? So, all right. Anyway. So, we got rid of that, okay? Normally I'd rinse this bad guy, but we're not going to, okay? I want to make sure that he doesn't have any broken skin, contusions, concussions, broken legs. Smells okay. A little beat the tire, but he's still okay, okay? So, once I assume that he is okay to eat, I go ahead and I fabricate, okay? Now, this is the breast. This is the back. Don't look at me like I have 6 heads. I teach fundamentals. Most people don't know the back from my breast. Okay? I wonder how you're going to procreate. No. Okay, here's my back. Here's my back. Here's my breast. Okay? Now, I'm always working generally with the cavity, the hole, the cavity towards me. This is his little butt. Okay? This is his tail. Okay? I usually work with the hole towards me. Okay, now, my right hand, my left. His right leg, right, my left. I'm going to take my left hand, I'm a right-handed person, I'm going to grab his right leg, her right leg, okay? I'm going to allow the weight of the gravitational pull to help me fabricate this bird. See how the skin is so taut? It's begging right there. It's going, please cut me, please. So as soon as I cut that skin, you see how it tears? Okay? It pulls open. Okay? Where is my, it's a trick question, where is my most tender, most juicy part of my bird?
Down the inside his leg. Wouldn't it?
Anybody else get anything?
Fast.
Tender, juiciest. My breast is what we normally think, right? Ah, that's my most tender. Is my breast juicy? On my bird. We're talking about on my bird. What? No, my breast meat is generally dry, lack of myoglobulin. It doesn't move, right? So it's white meat, right? So a lot of lacking of moisture. My most tender, most juicy part, look, right here. You see these 2 little bumps? Okay? They are my oysters. Most oftentimes we don't even know they're there, and they get stuck on the carcass and we throw them away. I said my most tender, my most juicy part, right? Okay? If I leave these on, that's like 1.5 ounces or 2 ounces of wonderful chicken meat going in my stomach, okay? I want to get that to my edible portion going out the door, okay? So, make my first cut. I'm going to aim for my oysters, okay? My oysters, I'm going to rip the skin back a little bit just to show you, okay? The oysters are a little muscle. You see a nice little ball, okay? A little round muscle that sits there, okay? See that? My thumb is designed to go, it sits in there in a little hip joint, okay? I'm going to slide my thumb in there and I'm going to pop my oyster out. And if I'm really, really quiet and I listen really well, and if I have a fresh bird, which we know when I have a fresh bird, if I have a fresh bird, I can hear it. Ah, did you hear it? You hear it? Okay? You can hear, yeah, you can go ahead and shut it off now. Okay, now, you see that little cavity in there? I have my thumb, I went my nail towards his spinal column, okay? Looks for that little shelf, that little track in there, okay? You see it? Now my oyster is on my edible portion going out the door, okay? Now I give him a little procto exam, I stick my hand up his butt, okay? Then I flip his leg back. Did you hear that pop? Okay? Now, there's the line right there. See that fat line? It's going, please cut me there, okay? Now, say this with me. Behind the oyster, in front of the hip bone. Behind the oyster, in front of the hip bone is my next cut. I go behind my oyster, there's that nice juicy piece of meat. Behind my oyster, in front of that hip bone, and I allow the chicken weight, okay, to tell me where I'm going to cut. I'm going to follow that fat line all the way down. Look how nice and meaty my thigh meat is. Okay? And all the fat is right there. Everything's off. I got a clean carcass so far. Okay? Now, I have a hard side and I have an easy side. Okay? Because I'm a right-handed person. Okay? I'm a right-handed dominant. So, same thing though. Okay? I'm going to let the weight of the bird pull him down. I got to take my other leg off. Okay? I'm going to head for my oyster. Rip my skin back. There's my thumb. I'm going to use my other thumb now towards his spinal column, and I'm going to look for that little grid in there. See it? Just like there. You see it? Okay? Now I'm going to find it over here. I'm not using my eyes. I'm using my feelers. Okay? Did you hear it? Okay? Now I know that my 1.2 ounces of meat, okay, are now in my edible portion going out the door. Stick my hand up his bottom, okay? Flip back that leg, okay? There's my next line. You see it? Now, what did I say about behind the what? Behind, not behind the hip. Behind the oyster, in front of that hip bone. You see that? Behind the oyster, in front of the hip. And then, I allow the weight of the bird to tell me where I'm cutting. I stay close to the carcass, okay? Because I want all that wonderful juicy meat on my leg. See there? Julio? Okay, now, here's the hard part. Okay? Well, not really hard. Okay? For the sake of you guys recording, I'm going to take it skinless. I know my end result is skinless, boneless anyway, right? So I'm going to remove her t-shirt. Okay? We're going to expose her. I better shut up. Okay, so on this bird, we have, I know. On this bird, we have a breastplate, just like we have. Okay? Right at the bottom here is her little sternum. Okay? The sternum, however, is a gelatinous moving part. Okay? It's not bone. Okay? It's jelly. Okay? So I'm going to feel, because I'm going to pretend my skin is still on her. Okay? If I can't see with my eyes and trust my chef instincts, then I know where my breastplate is. Okay? I'm going for a breast supreme. So I'm going to feel where that bone is. Okay? And I'm going to push my blade. Now I'm pushing this way. Okay? I'm going to push my blade and I'm going to make one incision. Right here is my wishbone. Okay? I have a wishbone that sits in there. Kind of gives me a little bit of trouble. Sometimes I snap it accidentally. Okay? Most oftentimes, learning this way, we never want to snap a bone. Okay? We don't want to take our knife to a bone. We want to be respectful of the knife. Okay?
Because that can rip the meat.
It can rip the meat, and it can also give our restaurant patron a shard of bone. Okay? So we try not to. So I know that I'm against the wishbone. I'll deal with the wishbone in a minute. I make one long incision. Remember that cartilage that I said? All the way down at the sternum? And I take it all the way down to the sternum. Now, I put my knife down. Okay? Because my thumb now becomes my knife. Okay? My thumb can get around the thoracic cavity and get me a cleaner cut than my sharp blade, my straight blade will. Okay? My breast meat, I said, was my most tender, most expensive part of the meat. If I get that on my edible portion going out the door, better for me, right? More money in my pocket. So now I make long strokes with what's left of my thumbnails, okay? Long stroke, because I said it was tender meat, right? It cuts very easy with my thumb, okay? So I make long, nice, tight strokes. And I'm going around that breast cavity, okay? My blade can't get all that meat. However, my thumb can, okay? Now, if I pull this skin all the way down, you see this fat line here? Okay? That fat line is my next place to cut. It's saying, cut me here, okay? It has the roadmap in it for you. You can either cut it here if you like, or you can go along the inside to make sure that you get all your tendons and everything off that breast meat, or you can do a little of both, okay? I kind of do a little of both. Again, never ever going through bone, okay? I'm going to go up around that joint, and I'm going to take off all that breast meat, okay? Now, I'm going to form my breast. Have you ever seen one cut so clean? I mean, there is hardly any breast meat at all left on the carcass, okay? Pat the breast a little bit, give her a little oven, pull up from the bottom, voila, you have a perfect breast tender. Amazing, huh? Okay, so I have my breast tender, I have my breast, I have my chicken legs whole still, okay? Then I have my harder side to do. Same thing, I'm going to feel, even though I can see it with my eyes, I still want to feel it because I don't want to get used to using my eyes, okay? I had a girl who had such a hard time fabricating a chicken, just couldn't do it, couldn't do it, couldn't do it. And then I took her aside and I had her close her eyes. And I had her feel her way through her chicken, and it was amazing. She almost cried. It was like a spiritual experience for her because she was able to do it for the first time completely all the way through just by using her chef senses and not using her eyes. She depended on her eyes and thought everything was where it was supposed to be, and it wasn't. So when she depended on her chef senses and what she was doing with her hands, then she was able to do it. I got my little breastbone in here, and he broke away from my little sternum, which is okay. I'm just working around him. Same thing, though. You see this? You see my fat line here? It's going, please cut me, please cut me. I made that one incision. Here's my little wishbone. It's giving me a little bit of a hard time. I just pull it out a little bit, okay? Again, working with my thumb. Nice, long slashes, right, with my thumbnail, okay? I can either cut here, okay? Or I can go in from the inside, either way, okay? I'm taking off my harder breast, okay? The blade needs a little bit of an edge to it. Up around my little wing. The reason I still have my wings on, and other chefs do it differently, okay? The reason I still have my wings on is when I'm carving my breast, I want the stability, okay? My wings give me that stability, okay? Yeah, it's folding the carcass out for me. Okay, it's my little stabilizers. Okay, give her a little pat. Okay, hold on to it, pull up. There's my beautiful chicken tender. Okay, so now I have my breast, too, and tender. Okay, now in the South is a big deal with wings, right? Okay, we want to get rid of some of the skin because I want to show you for the sake of the video. Okay, here we have on a chicken wing actually very strong tendons. The ball and socket joint. Okay. But we have very, very strong tendons for some reason on our wings, okay? I mean, they're a flightless bird. Why they're so tight, I'm not sure, okay? So I want to cut into that white tendon. As soon as I cut into that white tendon and add a little bit of pull, okay, you can see the ball and socket separate. You see that? Okay? So now I just have to separate with my blade, feeling my way through, okay? The thing that makes my wings better than her wings down the street, even though the South is known for their chicken wings, is because when I fabricate my wings in my own kitchen, my first bite of my meat is all chicken breast meat. Because the other way that they teach you to fabricate a bird, you don't get that much meat on a chicken wing. They're pretty meatless, right? You gotta have at least 6 of them or 8 of them for a meal, okay? However, Chef Dunning's down the street, I don't know what's different about hers. Hers just seems meatier. Because the way we fabricate our chicken, our first bite, it's kind of like our back fin meat for a crab. Okay? And we get that nice meaty back fin. Okay? The first bite is all nice, good breast meat. That normally is stuck on the carcass, which normally gets thrown out. Okay? I mean, we make sauce from it. Right? So again, break the tendons. Okay? Cut those tendons. You can see that ball and socket joint in there. You see that? Okay? Work your way around. Okay? Come up from the back side. We've got a lot of skin on there. Okay? But you can see my blade coming up through the... You see it? Okay? Now I'll get rid of our skin. Extra skin. Look at all that breast meat. Normally gets thrown into the stock. See that? Okay? Take off our skin. Look at that nice clean carcass. Have you ever seen a carcass so clean? My edible portion going out the door, that's what's saving me money. Okay? Alright, so here we go. Now separate my thighs from my legs. Okay? We always do skin side down. Flex out the leg. Okay? When I flex my leg, it is different than when it is nice and tight. When I flex open my leg, it changes the mechanics of the bird. Okay? I look with my knife, not my eyes. Okay? I see the fat line there. I know from years of doing this that where I need to cut is going to be slightly to the right or slightly to the left of that fat line. Am I'm not going to take the time to go, back in the kitchen, do 100 of these at one time and go, okay, now is this the right leg or is this the left leg? Am I going to go to the right? I'm going to trust my chef instinct, okay? I'm going to flex that bone open, skin side down, and I'm going to lay my knife on top of my chicken. When I feel where it indents, which I popped it there a minute, where I feel where it indents, I push. I never go through bone. I'm cutting through cartilage, but I never go through bone. And it cuts like butter, if I had a real knife. Okay? So I have one beautiful chicken leg, one meaty, super meaty chicken thigh. Ta-da! Okay? Alright. Alright, everybody go and grab yourself a chicken real quick.